The legislature has adjourned for the year. It's hard to believe that in mid-March we were done, and several of us in the Senate, we had a vote on it. Several of us voted no because we really thought that we needed to continue to work on issues that are before us and facing the state, but the calendar was set back in January of 2011, so there was probably not a lot of hope that we were going to persuade the Republicans to continue to keep us in to talk about mining legislation or talk about other jobs, initiatives, and things that were kind of in the works. So we're done. Everybody's back home in their district collecting nomination papers and shaking hands and kissing babies and going to church suppers and things like that. And I know all of us have extra copies of our nomination papers, so if you've signed one but you feel like you want to do more, please feel free to take a sheet and you can get 10 signatures from friends and family or whatever events you go to. If you're on campus, bring them to campus and to class and get them. So I know that there are ample nomination papers available up there. One of the things, since the Senate is now in co-leadership between the Republicans and the Democrats, and Senator Miller is now a co-leader with Senator Fitzgerald, we've had to balance the party makeup of all of our committees, and so because the Republicans had been in majority, they had more members on the committees, but now that we're tied, they had to ask for some of their members to be removed so that we could have a balance. On one of the examples on finance where they had to have 2 of their members step down, and so 2 Democrats could be appointed. So I'm pleased that after talking with Senator Miller, and I offered myself up from serving on finance on the Assembly side last year, that I was still interested in serving on finance. So I was glad that Senator Miller reappointed me to the Finance Committee on the Senate side. And one of the things that I take great pride in is I took the place of Senator Grothman. So that's kind of fun. I feel like I did a favor for all of us, even the Republicans that were on that committee. So Senator Grothman is no longer on finance. Now, granted, we're not meeting a lot because we're in campaign mode, but if there are things that come up now, we'll be down there for the day or something like that and on the committee. And so I think we've got a really great representation around the state with the Senate Democrats. We represent northern Wisconsin, western Wisconsin, and then we've got a Milwaukee and a Racine legislator. And so we represent the state well. The second thing is my campaign kickoff. You're all invited to that this Thursday at Boot Hill Pub. If you're available to come to that, 5:30 to 7. So stop by there for a little cheer and merriment and catch up with people. But if you're able to stop by that, looking forward to seeing you there. And then tomorrow, Steve and Jill and I and Sarah Sullivan and Karen from the county board and other activists are holding a press conference at Jules. So thank you, Chris Kalo, for offering up your business about the Pay Equity Day. Tomorrow is Pay Equity Day, and so we are doing a press conference with others around the state to highlight the inequities between men and women who are paid for doing the same job, but that women are making less. And so we'll be there tomorrow at 2 for about a half an hour. So if anybody of you are available and want to stop down and attend that we've got just a quick half an hour press conference with some statistics and talk about the Pay Equity Enforcement Act that the Republicans signed, which repealed a person's ability to fight in state courts. Right now it's in federal courts that you can still get that punishment, or I forget what the legal words are. Attorney, Mr. Steve Doyle, what are the things that we fight for, like the punishment and punitive damages? Punitive damages, yeah, Mr. Attorney, thank you. So we can get those punitive damages like in federal court, and last year when the Democrats were in control, we signed it that in state courts that you could file for that as well, but now Governor Walker's done away with that, so it's much harder to file and fight in federal courts. We're going to be highlighting that as well. So that's just my quick update. 203 days to victory in November, but we've got other elections on the forefront that we need to keep our eye on as well. And I know if you have heard of events around the district or around the area that you think that Steve and Jill and I should be at, if it's a spaghetti dinner for the Humane Society, which I was at that not too long ago, or other events, please let us know, because we get plugged into some things, but other things we don't know about unless people give us a heads up, and that's how I found my way to the Towns Association meeting on a Saturday with hundreds of towns officials from western Wisconsin out at Fox Hollow, which I popped in there because I want them to know that Democrats support local government and Democrats represent Towns Association and interests in there. And I was, they hadn't invited any legislator, I guess, and so I sort of crashed it. But I pulled up a chair and I listened and shook hands with everybody and talked to them. So just keep us plugged in and look at our Facebook pages and websites for our campaign updates as well. So that's it. Thank you very much for everything that you're doing.